Welcome to CompTIA A Private Limited e-learning program of hardware networking. So we are discussing about Windows 10 OS environment. We have completed part one. In that we have seen various features like Cortana, other features about Windows 10, working with Windows 10. So we are continuing with the features of Windows 10. So it will give you more clarity about working in Windows 10, all the options available. And even if you are a fresher, first time you are seeing Windows 10, by going through this video, you should be able to work with Windows 10 in a easiest way. So let's move with the Windows 10 features. The multiple desktops. This is one of the new feature available in Windows 10. This will work only in Windows Enterprise Edition and Professional Edition, not in Home Edition. So you should not search for it. Normally, users buying a laptop from online or desktop online, we get bundled operating system at a considerable rate. So normally they prefer to deploy Windows 10 Home Edition only. So if you are a corporate customer, so though you are having a Windows 10 Home Edition license bundled with the desktop or laptop, you will be installing the enterprise version of operating system in the desktop and laptop. So you need not worry about the licenses because Microsoft will manage the cost in the back end. Instead of home editions, they will charge you for the enterprise edition as an additional cost. So we can deploy enterprise version. So the reason is licensing is one to one. In case of enterprise, it will be like one key with thousands of Microsoft operating system, because you may have um, n number of lakhs and lakhs of desktops for corporate, right? So they will have key management server, KMS servers, that will manage the keys for the desktop. So they'll have a bunch of keys, and the KMS server will be managing all the keys for the endpoints. So it will get registered and it will manage. It will be like a floating licenses. So if it is getting exceed, then we have to reach Microsoft and get additional set of keys for our organization. Security. So what is the kind of security we have in Windows 10? So there are three main security controls available apart from the group policy and other settings, right? Because it is individual computer, you will not go for group policy settings and restrictions and all. If it is a domain based, then you will go for a group policy. Coming back to a normal desktop, end user desktop, so you can have a user account control restriction, Windows Defender and Windows Firewall. So we call it as a UAC, user account control. So we are setting up this parameter to ensure that none of the application are overwriting my operating system parameter and making changes in the registry. So we don't know which application is trying to access my registry or trying to change my system configuration, right? We just click on installation or do something, it will go and occupy my system. So before doing that, um, if I am enabling this control, it is enabled by default. So if I am enabling this control, then I'm kind of safe environment, because if any application is trying to enter into my uh, kernel part of it or key configuration changes, then it will prompt me once, so I can decide whether to continue with the application, not to continue, or I can give an exception and proceed with the installation of the application. Somewhat it is just giving you a warning. Based on that information, you can proceed or not proceed with the application. That is the user account control. So how to set up this option? So go to user accounts in the control panel, all control panel items. So change user account control settings. So click on it. So normally you are in the second level. So you can increase the strength so that you are more secure. Again, the Defender, Windows Defender. So it is a kind of antivirus and malware protection included with the operating system. So, but we don't recommend to have only with the Defender in your computer, whether it is a home computer or enterprise. You need to have a separate antivirus software for protecting your computer from all kind of threats. So here Microsoft is giving a part of it. So malicious programs, malware programs, it can detect and help you. in getting isolated from that particular issue. So go for this option and update the security. So you'll be able to enable this option in your system. Firewall. So normally this firewall settings is provided from Windows 7 itself for restricting others to logging into our desktop from the back end, right? So even if it is in a corporate network, somebody is trying to take remote, this firewall service will be disabling that particular access. And if at all I allow them, I'll be adding that IP into my firewall so that only that particular IP they can take a remote of my system and do a work. So kind of securing my desktop from other office users so that my data is safe. So you can enable this firewall in Windows and you can block access from everybody. So anything you wanted to do exception, you can open the firewall console which is in the control panel. You can see it here. So you'll have to add the specific application or specific IPs so that only those applications are provided as a secured one. So here firewall is turned on. You want to turn off, you can choose it. Now it is in green color. If you turn off, it will be in red color. So you can further move on and add the exceptions based on the requirement. So other important component is parental control because we are all home users. The same system will be used by our kids also. So we wanted to have some kind of control in the internet browser. I mean, in the internet routers, gateway devices. There also we are getting parental control. So once I enable the parental control, vulnerable websites will not be downloaded. It will get blocked in the router itself. And further to have a control, better control, you can use Windows 10 parental option. So you can add an account. So whether it is a child or adult, they are asking. So if it is a child, go for it. So let's create an account. So it is going to create account in the outlook.com and it will verify whether the mail ID is available or not. Once it is available, you will get outlook.com is available. So I have hidden some of the options here for security purpose. So you have to enter the user ID completely. So you can provide a phone number, require details, and so see whether what is the important thing you wanted to do is they are giving two options. Enhance their online experience by letting Microsoft advertising use their account information. And second one is send them promotional offers from Microsoft. So I don't think both the things are required. Maybe first thing is required, not the second one. So you can remove that option and you can proceed. So after that creation, you'll be able to log in with that account in the system and do as per the restricted one. So you can find out what is the recent activity and you can have a history of web browsing, what is that they are browsing, and you can also restrict the internet with the timing, like what time they can browse. So per day, how much time they can browse. So everything can be set like a proxy server. You can set up this kind of settings in the Windows 10 desktop itself. That is a kind of parental control you are going to do. Then Windows 10 application setup. So here you can install the application. If once you go for the search item and type some of the key letters, you will get the application in the screen. So this is very fast in Windows 10. So web browsing, you can use the Explorer. Now you have Edge browsers also. You can use that browsers for browsing internet. You can click on favorite to store frequently accessed applications, and you have the hub. So you can also store the favorite items in the hub. Browsing history. So it stores browsing history so that next time when you open up the page, so it will refer from the history and open up the backend things very quickly. Networking part. So here you have the options. So in the right hand side bottom corner, you can see the network option. So it is wireless. And if you see computer kind of icon, it is connected via LAN. So first one is wireless icon and the second one is the LAN icon. So machine is connected with the LAN option. Okay. So you will get all the Wi-Fi devices available in your range and based on your Wi-Fi device and you should remember the password also, right? You have to provide password to get connected to the Wi-Fi device. So network and intranet settings, you have to go and enable it, and you can find the other options in the page itself. So another important point is virtualization, Windows 10 virtualization. So in this virtualization, VMware we saw in other presentation. Using VMware, we can go for adding multiple machines for creating a lab purpose. Here also we can use virtualization option. Windows 10 is providing a default virtualization which is called as a hypervisor. So using which you can create multiple machines and work locally, kind of lab setup, and improvise your knowledge and test your codings and everything in a local environment itself before you go for testing in the production environment. We have to meet the prerequisites because you are going to have multiple machines. One Windows 10 machine itself need to have 4 GB RAM, 50 or 60 GB partition space for operating system and processor and all. So if I am going to have multiple systems, three or four, then think about it. So need to have high-end configurations available in your hardware, then only you can go for multiple machines. Adding one machine should not be a problem because if you have 8 GB, you can have at least one machine in the virtual environment for your practice purpose. So for that, you need to have 16-bit operating system, Windows 10 Professional or Windows 10 Enterprise. With home editions, you cannot get. First thing. Second is your computer processor need to be supporting virtualization. It should be having SLAT, right, which is nothing but secondary level address translation. So processor should be capable of supporting virtualization. Third is BIOS. You have to enable the setting in BIOS so that you can utilize the options. Though you have all the features available, if your BIOS is not supporting, then you cannot do anything. So you have to check for enabling the BIOS. So you can go to control panel, find out the system, find out whether what is operating system you have. You have Windows 10 Pro. So first step is clear. Second step is enabling in BIOS. Press F2 to enter setup when you are logging in. So it's a Phoenix BIOS. So you can find out in the advanced option, virtualization technology enabled. So again, second thing is also cleared. So now third thing, we have to enable the Hyper-V in the computer. So go to programs and features and turn on, turn off features. So you can choose Windows Hyper-V platform and select that environment. It will get added up into the control panel, administrative tools. So in the administrative tools, you can go and open it and you can find Hyper-V on the one of the option. So you can open up the Hyper-V console and create a new virtual machine. It will prompt you for entering the required processor, hard disk space, all those things. Then after the once you complete it, uh, choose the operating system also. Once you complete it, your system is ready. So you can turn on, turn off in the console itself. So now your VM is ready. So virtual machine is ready. You can make use of it for your test purpose or running a demo. Everything you can do it. So next is remote access. This is available in all the flavors. So somebody wanted to take remote off your desktop or you wanted to take remote off their desktop just to see some codings or some monitoring or some sharing the applications, right? So how to do it? So first find out and check whether you have the option like find out the PC. So computer name is PC. So go to system properties and go to remote. In the remote option, you have allow remote connections to this computer. Default, it is like don't allow remote connection, so nobody can take remote off my system from anywhere in the network. But for taking remote, I'm just enabling the option. So you can also enable you can also go to remote desktop connection. You will get the window, remote desktop connection window. Now you have you have to type in the computer name or IP address of the computer which you enabled for remote connection. Once you enable it, you'll be able to open the desktops. The other slide I mentioned, if you have Windows Firewall, you can enable the restrictions. So if at all firewall service is enabled, so whoever is going to take your machine from remote, that IP address you have to include it. Otherwise, Windows firewall will reject the remote connection. So you'll get the error message, connection terminated or connection timed out. So from that you can find out the firewall is blocking. You can also troubleshoot, right? You can ping that particular IP address which you want to take a remote. You will not get the response because the firewall service is running. So this is how you troubleshoot the remote connection. So with this, we are coming to the completion of part 2. Let us proceed with part 3 slides. Thank you very much.